Jay Simon's Morning Blend. Here we go. New movie coming out this weekend. It's called The Bikeriders. It's written by Jeff Nichols. It's supposed to be a drama. Cast is Jodie Comer, Austin Butler. I'm starting to really like him. Tom Hardy, Michael Shannon, Mike Fass, and Norman Reedus. I am going to let Tony go first on this one. He saw it a couple of weeks ago. Tell us, first of all, what is the theme behind this?
So it's really kind of the late 1960s, and it's all about biker clubs in Chicago. So, I mean, going into it, I knew very little about this. Obviously, you think motorcycle gangs, you think a little bit more violent, things like that. This is really like a hangout spot that just kind of evolved into something more. But I thought it was a really thrilling, entertaining film. I found it to feel very much in the style of Goodfellas. I thought that Jeff Nichols did a great job kind of channeling that vibe and style, if you will, but the ensemble here is what takes the cake. I mean, Austin Butler solidifies. If you had any questions, he is truly a movie star. There's no question about it. Jodie Comer, I thought, did a great job as well. Her accent seemed very authentic, and it from start to finish, there was never a point where you questioned where she was from. And Tom Hardy, I mean, every time he's in something, it's great. But he just finds a way just to command the screen, ooze that charisma, and just be like someone you would love to be. But I had a really great time with this film.
It's interesting. Janelle and I got into a conversation last night. So hopefully she's going to talk about it today because it started making sense afterwards. So Janelle, you're next.
I agree with Tony. It is very much in the vein of Goodfellas, especially with the music that they use, overlaying certain scenes that happen. Very much from her perspective about the club. I think Tony makes a very good distinction when he calls it a motorcycle club. This is about a group of guys that are just wanting to drink, hang out, and ride motorcycles. It is about the evolution of how it becomes a gang in the end. But it very much, people that are expecting a lot of shoot 'em up, Goodfellas kind of violence are going to be disappointed, but that is not what the spirit of the movie is about. It is about the de-evolution of this club and how it started out as something as a get-together between men who had a common interest into something darker.
And that's the problem I have with it because I was expecting the Goodfellas thing. I was expecting to be, shoot them up, cut them up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. The Mean Boy Bike Riders. So I was thinking about Hell's Angels the whole time because I was back in that era, so that's what I knew. And it turned out to be exactly what you and Janelle are saying, and more so Janelle than anything. I got to get credit for that. And I thought about it last night. I said, you know what? She's absolutely right. But you know what? That's exactly what's happened to America. We have degraded to what we are today. So, Tony, what would you rate it?
I give it 4 out of 5. I had a really great time with it. Thought it was really entertaining. I do think, don't go in expecting that violence. You're going to be very happy. But it felt very natural, and they captured that style of that era as well.
Janelle?
I'd have to give it about a 3.5 out of 5. I still think it might have lacked a little bit. Sometimes it got a little slow in certain areas, but the cast overall, Tom Hardy can act his way out of a paper bag. Austin Butler very much brings James Dean vibes to it. He's got that whole broody motorcycle rider vibe to it. Norman Reedus, for people who aren't really that familiar with him, probably wouldn't even recognize him in this movie. But like Michael Shannon, it's just a great cast overall. It's enjoyable to watch them act.
I didn't recognize Michael Shannon at first. I was kind of like, whoa, look at Mike. Anyway, 3.5, I got to go with it too, because again, I was still looking for that Goodfellas vibe and I didn't get it. But overall, it was a pretty good movie. I agree with you on that. So somewhere between 3.5 and a 4 is we're going to wind up, right?
Sounds good.
We're agreeing with it. All right, that's it. We'll see you next week. I guess we're going to do Tony.
What?
Janet Planet next week on Morning Blend. Have a great weekend, folks.